Good afternoon. We begin with this beautiful shot from Cannon Beach, and it makes sense here in Oregon. A new survey showing us that the state ranks #2 as the destination for people moving to a new state. Now, this survey comes from the moving company United Van Lines.
Now, Oregon is ranked in the top 3, get this, for the past 5 years. Who's #1? Anybody from Vermont? Vermont.
That was kind of odd, no?
Well, we thought it was odd, but Vermont is, I would say it's lovely, but I think it was 20 below zero there this morning.
Well,
so maybe not so lovely.
I'll take Oregon. Well, you know, we're talking about what the #2 spot means for Oregon being in second place, what it means for the real estate market. So we have Michelle Maida with John L. Scott Realty here. Good afternoon, Michelle. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for
Happy
having
New
me.
Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year to
What
you,
did
too.
you make of this study? Did it surprise you? And what does that say for the real estate market?
It didn't surprise me too much. We finally got knocked out of #1, but Vermont is a little bit surprising.
It's a little embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, Vermont?
It's a beautiful state.
I know, but it's
very
tiny.
green,
We're much
like
bigger.
Oregon.
Yes, and people are moving out of the northeast states in droves, and if they're not going to go west, where else to go but Vermont, I guess. There's great skiing, there's mountains.
When you look at this from a realtor standpoint, do you say, oh, this translates into an even bigger housing market than we already have?
I think that it translates into a very good housing market, just like we've experienced last year.
Yeah.
We have a high number of people moving here for job transfers, for jobs, for proximity to family, and we also have a lot of retirees. Which
I was just
you
going to ask
wouldn't-
who's moving here, but
That's who's moving
okay,
here. Yeah.
interesting.
From what states are they coming from? Do you keep track of that sort of thing?
They do keep track of it, mostly the Northeast and Midwestern states. And we do have a lot of Californians moving up here, but
Yeah.
It's funny is because we talk a lot about Portland becoming unaffordable to people, but I hear from people moving from out of state, they're like, oh, it's so much more affordable in Oregon than where they came from. So do you hear that often?
I hear that a lot. And also people who are coming from different places in the Midwest, it may not be as affordable, but it is the most affordable big city on the West Coast.
On the West
Yeah,
Coast.
true.
But it seems like, I moved here in 1999, and it just seems like that scale is starting to level out. Am I right? I mean, as we get closer, though, to some of the other big cities, I'm thinking people won't have the same $100,000, $200,000 cash from the sale of their old home in their old state to buy here in Portland.
I think that depends, but I think that it's not leveling out at all.
It's not, okay.
It's
all
not
right.
leveling out at all. I
Okay.
think that we, you know, between now and June, what we normally will see is 5 to 10% appreciation. You know how we say in September the prices year over year are at 12% higher or 10% higher? Most of that happens between January and June. And I think that, you know, all the forecasts, economic forecasts that I've read, we're going to see that again this year.
So it's still going to go up?
It's still going to go
okay.
up.
All right.
Interesting, you were telling us before that December 26th is a key date in terms of searching for a new house.
It is. More people go online and look at homes on December 26th.
In case you forgot to get your sweetie something for Christmas, here's a
Any
new
other day
house.
of the year, they decided we need a new house next year for Christmas. But it's true. More people online across the entire
Really?
nation on December 26th. And that's what starts to open up our market in January.
Fascinating.
because the spring market does pick up here in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So let's talk more about what you do expect for the spring real estate market.
Well, the spring real estate market, I like to say, starts somewhere around mid-January. People really start to get back into the game. However, between January and March, we still see a real shortage of inventory. So we're going to see some competition for those homes. In March, we'll increase some more inventory, and it's still going to be a frenzied market.
Any thought, Michelle, is there going to be one part of Multnomah County, for example, or Washington County that's going to be a little hotter this spring than maybe last year?
You know, that's a good question because we saw Beaverton really pick up. We saw Vancouver really pick up. And a lot of that has to do with what's affordable for the first-time home buyers. You know, that $300,000 to $500,000 range is always the sweet spot. That is going to be your hottest market. And so you can buy more house in Washington County, say, than in Multnomah County in that price range.
Any tips for people looking to sell their house, maybe things they can do now ahead of the busy spring?
Absolutely. Contact your realtor, have them walk through your house, see what needs to be done, and get it scheduled. Because if you try to schedule a contractor in March, you may find yourself looking at August or September before they can actually come in.
No.
Let's talk pricing real quickly here, because I've noticed in my neighborhood for the first time in many months, houses are sitting a bit. And then I'm seeing the price reduced sign go up, and then they seem to sell within 2 weeks.
Yep.
Are people overpricing to start out with?
Yes. Yes, and especially in this market, it gets a little bit quieter. I mean, we have seen the prices come down just a little bit, but mostly, you know, if you put your house on the market, if you're in a good neighborhood, a neighborhood that people want to be in, and you're in that sweet spot, 300 to 500,000, or maybe even 500 to 600,000, and it's priced right, you're going to sell it. But what we do see in the winter market is you're going to sell it the second or third week, not the first 3 to 5 days, and that's just normal. That's a cycle that we see every year.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
Michelle Maida, John L.
Well.
Scott Realty, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so
Interesting
much.
topic.